It's a Coca-Cola conversation with country music great and Jack State Gamecock, Riley Green. I have to throw that part in.
I always appreciate that.
It's the only thing you and I have in common. We both went to Jack State.
That's right, man. I don't get to brag about my football career very much. The music thing's really kind of taken over. So.
Who was a better football player, you or Sam Hunt?
Probably Sam. Sam
You think
definitely
so?
went further. Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was. I remember he was a little ahead of me, but being at UAB, and he did have. There was a video of him getting just clobbered, and I used to watch that all the time. But I didn't never make it to that point. I was a lot more worried about going out and playing in bars all night. You know.
you were in Brothers more than you were at the field.
It was this time last year, right here on this table, where you said that you thought this was going to be a pretty good year in your music career, and boy, it's been that, hasn't it?
Yeah, man, it's it's kicking my butt a little bit. I keep thinking it's going to slow down and I'm going to get to, dial it back, play 60, 70 shows a year and have a little bit of a life outside of it. But, man, it's going so great. People are this last record did as good as any of them. Probably my biggest record yet. We just won 3 awards at the ACMs last week. The tour's all selling out. So, I mean, it's just a great time, and it motivates you to want to go play more shows and write more songs.
It's funny. Some of the people working at Regions, they're like, it's backed up. I don't know what's going on. So our first guest was Nate Oates, and they're like, something's going on the course. And then we find out you and Jamie decide to play a impromptu concert, right?
Yeah, I don't know what hole that is, 13 or 14 or something, but we always end up playing a song on there somehow. But it's just such a great group out here. I mean, the fans that come out and they deal with the heat and walking all over the course and the wet conditions too. So it's nice to be able to get up there and do that. And Jamie, I've been a huge fan of him forever.
Yeah, what'd y'all play?
Jamie played My Home's in Alabama, and I played I Wish Grandpa's Never Died.
Yeah. I don't know how old the video is of you doing Dixieland Delight with the
it could be from the last show. I played
this was in the where they were honoring Alabama. They were honoring Randy Owen.
Oh, yeah, CMT Giants is what that's called. Yeah. Well, that's funny you say how long ago, because we filmed it in, March of last year, and it aired in October.
Yeah.
But no, that was great, man. And they honored Randy Owen at the BMI Awards last year, and I got to play My Home's in Alabama for them. It's so great to see him getting recognition because he's been such a great role model for me.
Yeah.
Do you talk to a guy like Jamie Johnson? You obviously love to write songs. He's so great at writing songs, too. Do you ever pick his brain on any tips to writing, or is it such a personal thing you can't really get tips from somebody?
Well, no, he's always one to give me some advice when I need it. Me and Jamie write together. He's going to go out on tour with me in November this year. We're going to do 9 dates together. So it's kind of a full circle thing for me because I've been such a big fan of him for so long. And now to have him out on the road with me and us have a relationship like we do is great. You can't help but learn something from somebody that's done it as long as he has.
You're talking about playing all those bars, and we've got a really good partnership with our friends at Floribama, and I know that's a near and dear joint to you. Steve Power's a really good friend. He was telling me a story last year we were there about you arm wrestling and breaking a guy's arm in half. I didn't believe him. I'm not doubting your strength, but what do you remember going into that? How did that play out, and how bad was it overall?
I really hope that video would never surface again because I thought I might get sued. But I was still doing construction work for a living. I was a little stouter back then. I had to work, Do
you have a good form, or was it
I don't know.
just a crazy-ass thing where it popped off?
Yeah, I was playing a show that night, and we took a break, and I was down there, and some guy comes up and wanted to arm wrestle, and I beat him, and then he said his buddy wanted to.
Well, did you think that was weird? He asked to arm wrestle?
Maybe I was drinking. Maybe. Nothing really seems that weird at that time, but he ended up going and getting this guy, and he's a big old dude, and he came over there, and his arm just popped. I mean, you could hear it in the bar. Bounced off the table. It was awful. They had an ambulance came and got him. And
was
everything.
He screaming?
I was screaming. I grabbed my arm after. It was horrible. But, yeah, that video will resurface every once in a while, and it'll come up in an interview, and I keep, hoping the guy won't find me,
Yeah. You mentioned you build houses up in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Are you still handy? If something breaks around, could you still fix it for me?
I hope that I forget how to use a tape measure.
You pay the guy now, right?
Yeah, I'll know I've made it. Now, I still like to work. I always enjoyed being able to see what you did at the end of the day, going
right.
And that's the same thing on a tractor, whatever it is. And that's kind of my escape when I go home. Me and Pops will have some kind of project on the farm or whatever that is. But I hope that I can keep writing songs and not have to go back on a roof in 100-degree heat.
We both said it. When I was growing up in Sacs, I grew up not far from where you grew up. I used to cut yards in my neighborhood, and he and I both said the same thing. I made a promise then to myself, if I can ever afford it one day, I'll pay somebody to come on grass.
Yeah, it's funny that I enjoy the work now that I don't have to do it for a living. I go back and kind of it's relaxing to me. But I definitely think that me having to work like that and even playing ball and having coaches kind of hold you accountable.
Yeah.
18 years old when you graduate high school, you're not very accountable. And so when you go and you have to, like, going to Jacksonville State for my little bit of a career I had, I'm sure that helped me in a lot of ways with my music career.
So you're in high demand. They're like, get him out of here. You got to go. But real quick, outside of the country music genre, if you had a massive party, you could have one musical act that is not country to play your event, who would it be?
That's a good question. What about Eric Clapton?
Okay.
Wow.
I was a big Eric Clapton guy growing
yeah?
up.
He knows how to play guitar.
He can, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good answer.
All right, it's our Coca-Cola conversations. Riley has his own Coca-Cola. You know you
appreciate
made
that,
it, man.
Yeah.
Calhoun
It's a tall
County,
boy, too.
Calhoun County boy. Tall boy. Ends up with his own Coca-Cola. Riley, thank you, man. Always
Appreciate
good
it.
to
Good to
see
see
you.
y'all.
Thank you,
Yes,
buddy.
sir.
Thank you, buddy.
Good to see you, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.